Okay, so I'm going to get started here with my sketch. This time we're doing it a little bit different. We're going to be doing some shading first. We're just going to be doing shading. If anyone has any questions or anything, you're welcome to leave your questions in the comment section. So I'm just shading the background here first is what I'm doing. I'm using different shades of oranges. And I even have a brown in here as well. So I'm adding the color element in first. Let me get over here to my main page in case anyone has any questions. Now I am working on, do I have this paused? My sound paused? Let me see. It sounds like I do. I must have it paused. Okay, that's good because I don't want to hear myself talk. I mean, I do. I like hearing myself talk. It's just that what happens is that I hear the feedback from myself. Okay, so I'm going to add in a little bit of brown as well in here. Just light. It's just a little bit of light. It's kind of can't even talk. To depict the eggshell color, I'm sort of looking for an eggshell color that's not too overly, but I don't actually have a tan pencil for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm making do with what I have, and I'm mixing. So the combination of the yellow, hello, very not, what does it say? Very not casual space marines to enjoy your hello there. And so I'm mixing in the colors a little bit like this. And then I end up with sort of a tan color here. Do you see this? So this is what I'm working on right now. It is going to be a ghost and a cemetery. And I'm just making a smushed up background. Hello, Rusty's Rust Clips. You can't hear me? Wait a minute. Wait. You can't hear me? You can't hear me? I am here. I wonder what's going on here. My microphone is working. Oh, Rusty can hear me. I was going to say, I thought my microphone was working. So we're just working on a little drawing here. Well, I thought, oh, it's lagging. That seems to be normal, doesn't it? There's supposed to be people who are getting their accounts back who have been terminated, it sounds like. That Google's supposed to be giving people accounts back who are terminated this next week because of their big lawsuit that it seems like Google is just in a huge lawsuit right now. And I don't know what's going on. I'm not their attorney. I can't speak for them. And so there's just a lot going on right now. So we're just working on a little drawing right here. I was finishing up my game for the night. I like playing a Tropical Island Merge. And Tropical Island Merge, I have a time limit of when I get my little rewards and things on the island. And funny thing with that game, it changes. And so I end up with extra little things that I need, like little rubies and things like that. So I like to get some of the rewards and the trunks and things like that, so I get additional things to try to get to the different levels a little bit faster. But I have yet to find any cheats on that one. It's not one you can actually cheat at. You know, back in the day where they were selling the books and magazines and things for cheat codes and things like that for games, and it's like these games on Google are not like, if someone started selling magazines for cheat codes, the thing is Google would change it so they can no longer, they have no idea what is going to happen with the game, which is kind of fun. And you know, the thing with the game that I'm playing right now with Tropical Island Merge is that with Tropical Island Merge, I get extra things added a little bit later. Okay, so, okay, let me go over here. So I have a little ghost now. I don't know whether to do it horizontal or vertical. Let me see here. Okay, so where did my pencil go? I briefly lost my pencil, which, you know what I did? I put my pencil away. And so, okay, so I'm going to draw a ghost here right now. I'm going to draw a ghost right here like this. Okay, I'm drawing a ghost like that. And there's like a fluffy, okay, let's get it in here. There's a fluffy, ruffly edge here. And so if I didn't make it big enough, I can make it bigger, but I need to leave enough room though for my dog. I was going to put a dog in there. Okay, so here's the eyes right here like this. You see that? There's the eyes right there. And so, okay, so I'm going to add, you know what, I need to have these lines in here, but I'm feeling like I need to also add in, let's see if I can do this. Oh yeah, that works. Oh, perfect. See the combination of, yeah, that works. Absolutely, that works really, really well right there. That's kind of the look I'm looking for right here. So kind of a messy, you know, I mean, it's an eerie background, isn't it? The combination of colors. And I'm going to show you I mean, this is the traditional fall colors that I used. I don't know if can we see what the colors are on here? I don't know if I think sometimes they have names on them, but these are the colors that I'm using. If anyone wants to do something similar, this is all I'm using right now to come up with the background, and it's a really beautiful background for that's not, the emphasis is not on the pencil as much. I mean, it is on the pencil, it's on the color pencils more so. And well, let's see what I'm going to do here. We can actually take and let's do this. We'll add in the eyes like that. I kind of need to get that weird nose in here too. Yeah, weird nose like that. We'll add that in there. And what else are we going to add in here? How about some orange? Oh yeah. We'll add some orange in here with the ghost. Let's do a little bit of, we'll add some of this in here like that. Oh, look at that. Oh, I like that. I like that quite a lot, actually. Oh, let's get this going down here like that. We'll take this down. I keep getting some really weird things on my YouTube. It's telling me, it's like I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have a husband, but it's telling me that someone is thinking about me, and I think that's so insanely crazy. It's like I don't have anybody in my life, and I haven't for several years. Would you stop? Stop. Hey, stop. Stop. Now go night-night. You go night-night. Go night-night. The dog is being annoying. And so I'm just drawing around the edge here. He just starts scratching for no reason. Okay. Oh wait, do you have a question? Let's see. Let me see over here. Can you draw a black hole afterwards? Um, I mean, technically this is a black hole right here. This right here is a black hole. I mean, the orange. I mean, okay, so let's do, I mean, do you need like a halo or something, like a black hole like this? Uh, I mean, because I question the validity of what a black hole is, and I'm just tired of and fatigued from, the earth is blue and navy blue is the sky. It's a dark hole. I mean, we can give it a little halo up here, a halo effect like this. Yeah, I mean, I can work on if you need to use the word black hole, I mean, we can use that for something scary as far as that goes. Um, so I can put this in here. I was going to try and get a dog in here, though. I don't know. I need an idea for what a black hole is, because it's like, who invented what a black hole is? I mean, that's the thing I keep asking, is it's like, with all these colors and everything, we could start calling orange black. Well, wait a minute. Isn't there like, didn't someone already sort of do that? They talked about the black box and then they said it was orange instead, really, that it was orange. And so things were all like completely messed up from what people originally thought they were. The colors changed and nobody paid any attention that the colors changed on the airline boxes, so they went from black to orange. And then someone came up with a movie, the orange is the new, oh no, it was a Netflix show or something, orange is the new black. So I mean, technically orange is black now. I mean, because when you think about in the grand scheme of who invented colors, I mean, you could change any of the colors to a color and you could start calling black orange now, and your black hole is orange. Look at the sun. I mean, the sun, after all, is orange. Okay, let me see if I can get this. I got to get this dog in here. We got to get you in here, buddy. Okay, we got a little ghost dog here too, so we're going to get him in here. You sound like Thumper the Rabbit over there. You're being a little Thumper the Rabbit. I don't know why. Okay, so we're going to do some little eyes here. Eyes here. And we got our little ghost dog. Let's see here. Do we have... Yeah, we do have some little feet here. But he's kind of... he looks sort of like a shaggy dog of sorts, really. He looks like a shaggy dog right there, but he is a ghost dog right here. So everything... Would you quit? Do you need attention or something? You're asking for negative attention is what you're asking for. Okay. So we're going to give our ghost dog some orange eyes like this, and an orange nose, and we're going to make him kind of orangey like this, our ghost dog. Give it kind of a, sometimes I call this the sepia hue. And we're going to put in, hang on, we're going to get it in here, kind of some of the same similar wrinkles and things that we've got on this. We're going to get it in there just like that. So both of them are ghosts. The dog and the ghost are ghosts. The whatever's here and here, they're both ghosts. The ghost dog. Oh, you know what else I just saw in here too? We're going to do this over here. So we get our depiction we got to get our depiction in here of what it is exactly that we're doing and where we are in a sense like this. We're going to get her done. It doesn't have to be real heavy. And when I say heavy, I mean the pencil. You know, I mean, it's a haze. You know, this is the effect I'm looking for, is a hazy, foggy effect. You know how that's actually perfect. You know, I mean, my goodness sakes. I mean, thank you, Reddit, for this idea. Reddit gave me an idea to do something, and I thought, yeah, we can pull this off. You know, sometimes I'll say no to things, and then I think about it, it's like, oh, okay, let's do this, you know. And then it kind of turns out better than what I even imagined. And yeah, this is one of them. It's turning out better than what I imagined. And, you know, so it really is. I like that. Kind of a ghostly, the orange yellowish hue. And the fog, oh my gosh, talk about creating fog. This is an excellent way to create fog with these colors. Good grief. You know, it's kind of fun. You know, when everybody says when old people don't learn anything anymore, that's not true. It's like, now me, I know I was kind of, you know what happened though? I mean, for me anyway, this is what I think. It's like, well, when I didn't have access to learning materials and things, when in my, when you're raising kids, that's what you're doing, is raising kids. You're not thinking about learning anymore. Even though we did have dictionaries, it's like I hated school so much when I graduated high school, because I struggled to get good grades, and that was the whole motive, was to get good grades. For some reason, I had no idea why. I had no idea what the purpose was of life, and that I was supposed to be good and getting good grades for a job. And it's like, well, gosh, I was a mother, and that's how we were raised, was to church and to be. I know this is a circular argument, a circular discussion. You guys are probably tired of it. I know I am sometimes too. But, when you talk it out, that's how you solve problems and things. And it's like, we realize millions of us have had a similar path and similar education in life. And why we have a scripted society in a sense of things. And, that's why I talk it out. That's why I talk things out. And, now the money people, they're getting mad at something that is a big problem. Oh, they absolutely are. I think you guys have probably been hearing about it a little bit your own self. So I've been hearing some of that stuff I don't listen to the legacy news a whole lot, but it filters onto the internet enough that there was 3 events that took place today. And what they're talking about is these corporations are behind it. The corporations are behind Antifa. That's what they're saying right now, is that the corporations are behind Antifa and all this violence. And so I don't know what's going to happen with that, but they said that they're behind it. And things have gotten nasty. They're funding it. A lot of these big corporations are funding the violence, the protesting, I should say. They're funding the protesting. So, so how do people feel about that? If they're funding the protesting, then they're actually funding the migrants coming into the United States. And it's like, migrants don't have a voice in our country. They're illegal, so why should they have a voice in our country? That's the thing I ask. I don't expect to have a voice in someone else's country. If I go to a foreign country, I don't expect that I should have a voice in their country. That's kind of what I always thought. The only thing I thought is if I needed the police or something, and that um, I would hope they would respond, but I don't know. Now I have to wonder, if I go to a foreign country, will their police even help me? Will their police or their medical even help me in a foreign country? I don't know. Now it has me thinking how much of a big show of faith that we put into doing what we did as spouses with the military. I mean, I know I could count on the military, the people, the Americans, to actually, if something was really horrific happening, they would help. But, for the most part, it was hands off. You do what you do, and what people do, things like that. And, it's like, I wish I had some good stories to tell about experiments and things like that were taking place. I mean, I could make something up, but I wish I had an experiment story to tell about experiments that the United States military was doing when we were with them overseas. I mean, maybe we were part of experiments and just didn't know. That's a great possibility. I mean, maybe some of the... Oh my goodness. I just thought of something. I'm thinking the thing that they did with the library. Now, okay, listen to this, guys. The thing that they did with the library. Okay, this is what they did. The soldiers would go to the library and they would log into an email account, and then they had a time limit, and then the librarian was really, really adamant about, your 15 minutes is up, or your 20 minutes is up, just depending. It was 15 or 20 minutes. And the computer was new. So then they abandoned the browser. And so you went to go in, and you know what? You were logging into someone else's account. That's how things worked. That is just how things work. Here's our black hole right here. Do you guys see that? This is what we got for our black hole right there. And so then you put the browser up and you were logging into someone else's account. But it was another way. I don't even know that I should tell this story. But it might have been an experiment, possibly. And so they left the account open, so that meant someone else could log into it. Someone else was getting into your account. That's how the internet worked. And, so I actually wrote to someone and told them they left their account open. But maybe that was their way of trying to meet people too. They left their account open. Nowadays you can't do that. You can't do that because it's a security risk. But I just find it so funny and so fascinating to think when the internet was rolling out to where we are now, the security flaws that were in the internet in the beginning to where we are now. We almost have it over secure. I mean, if that's such a thing, but being over secure in the way it is then means that you make it harder for people who are homeless to actually get onto the internet. You make it very, very hard for people. And then you have the people who question, it's like, well, how can you do this if you're homeless? It's like, okay, you guys aren't listening or paying attention to the varying degrees of what we've been talking about of what homeless is. And, it's like, so I'm not even, when I say I'm homeless, I'm just going to leave it at that. Nobody else needs to know anything else because it's none of your business. And, I'm tired of explaining something that you choose to not want to hear about. You choose to be ignorant about it. So if you're going to be ignorant about it, I'm not going to explain it to you anymore. It's none of your business. That's just what I'm going to say. It's none of your business. You don't want to learn about it, and we're going to leave it at that. So when people say they're homeless on the internet, you have to believe them. I mean, you might be one of them one day. We are expressing something. We are explaining something. And a majority of you on the internet, especially nonprofits, you want to be ignorant, and you're funding ignorance. The nonprofits are funding ignorance, is what they're doing. Um, yeah, I mean, the rich people are funding ignorance. They're the ones doing it. Even Hollywood is participating with funding ignorance. And, that's a battle I'm not going to take on. If you got, well, I have. I think I've been penalized for talking about their ignorance, and then they attack back at you when you talk about it and when you're transparent about things and you tell people about what's going on. So the corporations are funding ignorance right now. They're funding it through sports, and I was talking about the opportunity zones because there was a guy. Oh, this morning when I woke up, there was a guy I was listening to this morning, and you know what? The thing is, he and I agreed on pretty much everything, and he was living in New York City, and he was saying that in New York City, he said that there's nothing. He said there's absolutely nothing. And I'm like, well, that's how it is in the rest of the country. There's nothing for, it doesn't matter whether it's in the big city or in rural America. He said that they are actively guiding kids towards sports and entertainment because they have nothing else. Well, and I thought, well, yeah, but you guys have a bigger voice, than you have a bigger collective. And then Xfinity Comcast is actually funding what they call the opportunity zones. And well, then if they're funding and giving kids free computers and things like that, then I mean, how does that play out? Because then they're helping some kids, but not all kids. So they're funding ignorance is what they're doing. It's like if you're going to tell kids that they have a chance to become a sports star and, support some brand, it's like, well, yeah, that's all well and dandy until they break their leg or something, or they end up hurt really bad, or they end up with a traumatic brain injury. And the sports players have been talking about that for a long time, saying that they have uh, that their sports is causing traumatic brain injuries. And if you look at hockey and things like that, I mean, they draw blood. They draw blood. So, I mean, so what kind of life is that you put in your heart and soul into sports? You have your child training in high school for a career in professional sports, and then come to find out there's nothing for you upon the time that the child gets hurt, as when they're a young adult, or even in high school. Think about that in high school. I mean, high school football is on TV, and the kids aren't paid for that, but yet they have free entertainment for everybody to watch. They put it on TV. And, and I know they've tried to promote, they'll promote the games, and they hope people will go watch the games and from the local community. And it's like, I'm not going to support it. I don't even have the money to. At one time, if I had the money to, I might have, but I'm trying to think. The only thing I ever did was my kids. And when my kids did things, it was free. And you know why it was free? It was free because it was Department of Defense, and I don't think we paid to go see. No, I don't remember paying because it was Department of Defense, and they weren't making us pay to watch our kids play sports. And that's one thing my daughter actually had said, was that her daughter, which is my granddaughters, were actually in band, and she just wanted to see them do band, but she had to pay, because band is another way to get parents to go in to a sporting event. And then, but for the parents then who it costs an arm and a leg for them to have to pay to go in to watch sports, or they have to sit through the game just to hear their child play at a band concert event. So, yeah. Almost looks like we got a little rainbow up here. Okay, let me see. Let's see here. I don't know if I need any more highlight. I feel like I want to add a little bit in. I had lost this pen briefly too, but actually what I did was I put it away. Um, I put it away. I put my pen and pencil away, and then I ended up not being able to find them. And that's what happens when I put things away, then I can't find them. And okay. So I'm just adding a little bit of highlighting here with my pen, just so it stands out a little bit. So adding a little bit of highlighting here and shading like that. Make it stand out a little bit more. Oh, that's perfect. I wonder if I should, or am I going to ruin it if I, oh, not too much, not too heavy, not too, not too heavy. Let's leave it right like that. Yeah. Yeah, this one looks good just like that. Let's see if we can cover some of this up. Okay, yeah, let's cover it up. It looked good before. Okay, that's good. Let's add a little bit more orange here. Cover it up a little. Yeah, okay. That's a little better. That's okay. Yeah, it's always good to kind of, I should have tested it out a little bit with pencil first, but now it's there. I kind of like it without the, but it's a little heavier there, so that's, yeah, not too bad. Let's maybe add a third halo over the top. Maybe a little bit of a yellowish type halo up here. Oh, maybe, let's see here. Maybe. We'll get stuck on saying maybe. Okay, let's see if we can do this a little bit. Oh, yeah, we sure can. We sure can. Okay, yep, we sure can get that old black hole going on there with the orange. We sure can. Alrighty, there we go. Yeah, we've got that working out pretty good, actually. Pretty darn good there. Okay, let's get you on around here like this. Actually, it's kind of fun to do colors that are dingy. Dingy. I don't know why. D-I-N-G-Y. That's like dingy. D-I-N-G-Y. But it's dingy. It's dingy and dingy at the same time, which is kind of funny when I think about it. D-I-N-G-Y. Dingy or dingy? You know what I was listening to tonight? I turned the TV on for a little bit. I haven't been watching a whole lot of it. And they had on a celebrity. And he was saying, he said they do not get the money from the non-fungible tokens and from Ticketmaster. And so it sounds like they're upset about that. So I didn't know that they didn't get the money from Ticketmaster. I actually thought that they did, but they're saying they don't. Oh, I like that a lot now. I like this a lot better, actually. The hole here that I made. Okay, let's kind of put you on through here like this. Oh, I like that. This is turning out a lot better than I thought it was going to. I like that a lot. Um, you know, so they said they don't get the money, and they said they feel like they should, but they said they don't. Someone else is benefiting from Ticketmaster, so I have to wonder if they're getting the money from the non-fungible tokens now. They may not be. I don't know. I haven't heard them talk about that yet. Um, but they've already been paid. I mean, how many people know that? They've already been paid for what they did. They were paid for it. So if you have a song, for example, Johnny Cash is no longer living. He was paid for his song back in the day when Johnny Cash sang his song. So why does someone else get to own the catalog of work? This is the thing I've always asked. What happened to fair use? Because at one point, fair use was you turn on a radio, you listen to the music, it went into the public airwaves, but now they want to monetize everything. They want to monetize all the music and everything, where we can't use it on the internet. And so there's like a big battle royale related to the music industry and people on YouTube related to copyright, and then they want to be copyright Nazis. And that's with everything. So it's like, that's why I decided to change the direction of my YouTube channel and take up drawing, because I really like drawing. I like the arts area, and I can do more, when I do it like this. And so anyway, I've had a discussion with someone. There was one person on Reddit, and they had said that, they said that they were trying to start a battle with me, I guess, of some sort of beef or whatever you call it. And they were wanting to say that if I look at a drawing and draw it, that I'm taking someone else's copyright. Well, then I had a discussion with someone else, and they said, well, yeah, but if you make things different, then technically you're not stealing anything from them, you're just making it. And I thought, well, yeah, but the thing of a ghost is basically a sheet on top of someone's head. Oh, you came back. Thanks for coming back, Rusty's Rust Clips. Is Rusty's Rust Clips. Do you have anything you want to talk about, Rusty? Any more profound sentiments or anything you want to talk about? I do keep getting a lot of the same thing coming up for me, and there's a specific name which is kind of funny. I'll tell you guys what the name is. Frisco and Felicia. I am getting, you hate the name that you have on there right now? What name is it that you hate? You hate Rusty's Rust Clips? It's kind of, now, why did you give yourself a name like Rusty's Rust Clips? Why did you do that? That's what I have to ask. But I have my speculation of what's going on right now. But I'm still going to ask Rusty, why did you give yourself a name like Rusty's Rust Clips? You hate that name. Did someone force you to take that name? At least, oh, it's too long. At least you didn't get the name of Rusty's Nuts. I mean, I think that would be a little bit worse, don't you? If someone had given you the name Rusty Nuts. I like Rust, and I can't think of a channel name. Oh. Rust. How about Rust in Peace? Rust in Pieces? Rust in Peace. There's two ways you could spell it: Piece or Peace. Rust in Peace. That's. I mean, I think that's kind of a fun name, and I've thrown that out there before. I can't. If I used every name that I thought about, I would have entirely too many names, and it's like I'm not copywriting anything. I just like to use it because I think it's fun. Oh, you just show funny clips? Yeah, you know what? That's what I try to do too. I show funny clips, but some of mine are dark humor clips. And Yeah, something funny with Rust in Pieces. I actually do. I have a. I think I have a video, a short, on my channel related to Rust in Pieces. It's something similar, or it's like the tow truck. And so I have. I know I have a tow truck. Did I call it Rusty's tow truck or something like that? And so what I did was I put YouTube trailer Rusty's tow truck, and then I put a toe, an actual human toe on the back. It's a foot, but that's all that AI would come up with was an actual toe. But I always thought, well, that's funny when you make that analogy like that of a tow truck, but it's an actual foot, the toe of a human being. And so that's kind of the direction that I went with where I go with that. So I'm mixing up the words just crazy for brain rot content because I think it's funny. And so I like doing funny stuff too. Now my funny stuff there we have some dumb people in our society, and so they don't fully understand my stuff, or they just want to be mean to me. So that's the kind of things, that I was doing, and that, and I just found out that people are mean, when I'm doing things that I want to do. And I don't know why they want to be mean to me like that, because I never did anything to them, unless they're just threatened. That's the only thing I can think, is that they're threatened by things, those of us on the internet. That's the only thing I can think. And, oh, I like that now. I like that a lot more. I'm kind of feeling like maybe I need to add in, let's see if I can add in a little bit of this color. Yeah, a little bit of red. Or is that showing up? It's gonna show up enough, I think. Oh yeah, I like that color in there too now. So we're covering up a little bit. I don't want to cover up all the white, but I just want to make it look foggy. Oh, you came back. Good, you came back. Thanks for coming back, Rusty. Let me go over and see. I'm gonna, let's see here. Go to channel. Let me see what's on your channel. Oh, popular. Anyone know why it did this? That is from 2 months ago. You have a video with 10 views. Anyone know why it did this? That could actually become, chat is the third partying. Best play today. Oh, best play today is actually a good mixed content. Are you trying to get Rusty? Yeah, Rusty. Yeah, you reminded me of, oh, yes, you reminded me of some things. I'm not sure who I'm talking to right now, because of the fact that I don't know how much I wrote to, I don't know how much I wrote to, I can't say his name. Someone related to something about a dog named Rusty. Yeah, I knew someone at one time who had a dog named Rusty. And the dog, he actually had two dogs. He named, they were always the same type of dog. And when one dog passed away, they were a hunting dog. Then he named the other new dog Rusty as well. So he just kept the same name for the new dog, which was kind of funny. And I had asked my mom one time, I said, well, I said something about the dog, and she's like, oh, that's not the same dog. And I'm like, really? I thought his dog was the same dog. I must not have paid attention to the dog. And the dog liked to hump on legs, which was just, I didn't like it, but this dog just liked to jump up and hump on people's legs. And I think he trained it to do that, though. I actually do. I think he trained it to hump on people's legs. Um, because he was that kind of guy. He was actually in advertising himself, and so when I was in the middle school, I was supposed to go job shadow this guy, and I don't know what happened. I decided I didn't want to, um, so I didn't know a purpose. I couldn't think of a purpose on why I needed, they called it job shadowing and they had set something up. So, yeah, it's almost like we were going to school and, to varying degrees, then, you know, sometimes someone would have us go see what people did at their job. Nobody was telling us that we would want to do that as a career or anything like that because we just didn't have that. I do, I do have a dog. Um, I do have a dog, and one of the things I will say about dogs is that I think it's cruel for humans to have a dog and then be made homeless. It's cruel for both the human and the dog. And so there's people who just don't seem to understand related to the plight of homelessness. I mean, it's cruelty to both the human and the animal, So there's people who have said, "Oh, it would be great." This is what I was thinking. You know what I was thinking is that you have people. Um, oh, I'm not going to show my dog. I'm not going to show my dog. Because that's too identifiable. I'm not showing my dog. And so, um, but I was just thinking, there's been people on TV in the past, and they're like, "Oh, well, you should give a dog to senior citizens and things like that." And it's like, well, and I know they said at one time that there was dog pounds who didn't want to give dogs to senior citizens because they said they're old and they might pass away, and then the dog will be attached to that person. Um, but the thing right now, I was just thinking is that, um, when there's people, okay, for example, these soldiers who come back and they work with the animal clinics and things like that, they train the dogs, and they said there's a lot of dogs who are abandoned and abused. It's like, well, so you, so a person has a dog and then they end up homeless, and then the dog ends up dead along with the human because they can't have a place to live because things are just too darned expensive. And so, how would that soldier feel about it? It's like, well, they trained the dog, they went to the dog pound, they volunteered their time, they trained the dog, and then um, the dog ends up with someone who ends up homeless and they can't afford to feed the dog anymore. And so, um, I could actually do sound. I could do sound, just, I don't have to show you, but related to the dog, I could do some sounds as far as that goes. Hey. Did you see a light? Did you see a light? Did you see a light? Where's the light? Huh? Where's the light? Oh my goodness. Okay, I know you get so excited with the light. You get entirely too excited with the light, don't you? You just have a spasm. You have a light spasm. Oh, we hadn't played that game in a long time. He gets really excited over lights for some reason. Now you're doing your thumper thing again. Do you think you're Thumper the Bunny? I know you don't have an itch there, but you got a button in the front of your belly. You got a button up there towards your neck. You got a little button that gets your little thumper going, don't you? You got a little button up there. But we didn't want you performing for the camera, so that's why we don't put you on camera, because we don't want you performing for the cell phone anymore. That got to be too much. You started performing for the camera, and we don't want that. Because then every time we talked on the phone, you started performing. And you still do it, apparently. You still want to perform when the camera's going. Okay, go night-night. Go night-night. Night-night. Go night-night. Night-night. Okay, it's time to shut it off. Go night-night. 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 You go night-night. Do you want a bath? Why are you looking at the sprinkler? You're looking at the room sprinkler. Do you know that water comes out of the room sprinkler? I suppose you can smell that stuff, can't you? What, you just taught me something. You know where water comes out of the room sprinkler. When you're looking up there at it that hard? How did you learn that? When did you learn that? Because I sure didn't teach you. You must have learned it sometime that we've been here. Light. Are you afraid of the light? Are you guys afraid of the light? The light bulb? An idea? A light bulb? An idea? Is that what you're looking at? The light bulb, an idea. The light. You know, one thing I've noticed though lately on the YouTube videos, I have never seen the police do an interrogation under the light. Do you guys remember back in the day on the crime show videos, and the police would do those light interrogations where where they would shine? It had to be a joke. I'm thinking now in hindsight, it had to be a joke. Even on the show Cops, I've never seen them do a light interrogation. And I remember they used to do that on some of those old Columbo shows and some of those old grayscale TV shows and things like that. They did the light interrogation, and I'm sure you guys are gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're older, maybe some younger folks have seen it too, but it's really kind of funny. What other people is that? What are you talking about? Other people for what? Rusty? Rusty. Oh, you know what? Oh my gosh, Rusty. You're talking about three guys in chat. You're talking about Calvert. Why are you doing this to me? That's what I'd like to know. Why are you doing this to me? Because of the fact of, because Rose, actually, you reminded me of something. Rose and, what's his name? Calvert, Mr. Calvert. Didn't she get married to a guy named Mr. Calvert? You're just doing something. I think it's AI doing it though. It's not anybody. AI is the only one who knows anything anyway. It's not anybody else. It's AI doing it. American intelligence is not this smart. AI is the only one who is this smart. And AI is the one who's... I mean, even the United States government, their intelligence they have, no, absolutely no way they can do it. Um, Only AI is. You aren't. I don't know who you are, who's doing this, but there's no way the FBI is this smart. No, they're not that smart. No, only artificial intelligence is. But I was just yeah, the name Calvert, because that was, yeah, I've been just getting all this stuff for Jack Wagner, and I just bombarded with Jack Wagner today. I mean, for the past 3, 4 days, bombarded with Jack Wagner. You're smart and you're not AI. You know what? The majority of people right now are convinced. Well, they're convinced that hip hop is all AI. And I am too. I'm actually convinced that hip hop is all AI. It's all made up because of some of the things that has been offered to me to utilize in seeing how powerful artificial intelligence is. To right now, it makes sense to me why people think that everything on the internet is artificial intelligence, including celebrities. The thing for me, after I made some of the songs I made, it's like, my gosh, I made a song that could be a hit song on the internet. I have several of them on my YouTube channel. I just didn't get to be able to do the whole songs, the whole 4 minutes or up to 4 minutes, like celebrities would be able to do. And I was just thinking like that song with Christina Perri, 1,000 Years. I thought that could be artificial intelligence. My Billboard Attorney song. Oh my gosh, that one's so funny. If I would have been able to do the whole song, I think that would have been a hit song on the internet. It would have been a perfect brain rot 4 minute long hit song, and I could have gotten millions of views for that song. And I would have come up with some really good clips to fit in, and then the 4 minute song, and I really think it would have been a hit song. Then I become a, what are we drawing now? We're drawing ghosts. Um, I mean, I don't know what else to draw. Do you have any other suggestions that you think I should draw? I think this looks pretty good the way it is. Now I have something else. I have something else to post on Reddit. I really like how it looks right now. This looks really good. And I drew the black hole here. This here is the black hole right there. And we have our foggy hue. The only thing I didn't put in is the, let me see here. Wait a second. Oh, I saw your channel. You do AI. I do a lot of AI vids. Yes, I do a lot of AI videos. I'm very transparent of what I'm doing. I've always taken on the notion. I've always taken on the notion that every video I do, whether it's me drawing this, or something that I do with AI, is all AI. Do you know why? I have my own, it's not a theory, it's just my opinion. Because when I upload it onto the internet, I have to have a collaboration with artificial intelligence for indexing my content. And so I have to have a good relationship with artificial intelligence to help index my content in a way where I can get it in front of eyeballs. Wait, and so my theory, it's not a theory, it's my opinion. Everything becomes artificial intelligence uploaded into the internet. I love AI. I love doing artificial intelligence videos, AI videos. And I have some things that I'm not under a non-disclosure agreement. I can talk about it. I have some things on my phone that I use that is a whole load of fun. It just puts things in a whole different direction, and it opens things up to me in a different direction from what I was doing before. But it has limitations, though. It still needs a human element to it, though. And except for the songs, oh my gosh, the songs were like crazy awesome, some of them. When I put in and I wanted to do more with Billboard Attorney. What do you mean, why you get no views? How come you're getting no view? Why are you getting no views? Because you're not using, do you want me to tell you what to do? I'll tell you what to do. Do you want to listen? I'll tell you what to do. If you really want views, I'll tell you. You use raw clips. Do you use them with a cell phone, or do you use like upload through the desktop? Okay, you use raw clips and you upload them. Oh, well, portrait. You're going to have to do portrait view. What is it called? Someone else called it portrait or vertical view. So, you know how we have portrait and landscape? Use a portrait vertical, or landscape horizontal is more, I mean, people still use that, but you get clips, you send them to your phone, no editing, and then you upload them. Oh, you send them to your phone. Let's see here. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with your videos at all. John Carter. Wait a second. John Carter. Is that like the guy from, wasn't John Carter, was that on the show ER? Your name, John Carter. And you send them straight to your phone, no editing. Okay, let me look at one of these videos here. Well, your name is actually showing. It says at Carter John 133. You have 2 subscribers, 15 videos. You joined October of 2024. And so your name is there. The only thing that you didn't do was change your name. So when you put resting in Rust, yeah, your name is there, John, Carter John 133. That's kind of interesting because 33 was coming up. You need to hide stuff? Well, you didn't, you have, so when you change your name, you can change it. I think it's like every 5 or 10 days or something like that. So you need to change the at part as well. There's 2 places that you have to change your name. So you didn't want anybody to know that your name is John. Is it John Carter or Carter John? I'm not going to tell anybody what your name is because I don't know who you are and I'm not going to be finding you. But yeah, you need to hide stuff. That's funny. Okay, I like that down there now. Oh, I know what I was looking at. Second? You need to hide. Second what? Second. You put second on there. Okay, I was looking for a cemetery. Oh, C. John. C. John. Oh. Did you change it? Did you just now change it to C. John? Okay, we've got a crypt here. A crypt. I need a cemetery. Okay. Now, if you're interested, I can I can give you a hint on things. I mean, your channel looks pretty good, though, I think, for the most part. Let me see here. Um, that it's coming out of gaming. Translate to English. I did figure it out. July 25th. Okay, let's see here. We're going up here to see if we can find a... Okay, did I have more headstones than this? No, I don't think I did. Okay, I have a headstone there. A headstone there. I don't really have room for a headstone. Oh, you can't change it? How come you can't change it? Yeah, I think you should be able to change it. When you go into your YouTube channel, you should be able to go to, there's two places. You can do it from your channel. You can actually, let me see here, because I can change mine. So when I go into here to my YouTube studio, I go into YouTube studio, and then I go into customization. And so you should be, yeah, there's two places here. You have your name and you have your handle. And so your handle is the @ sign. So you go into your YouTube studio and then you scroll down on the left side, you go to customization, you've got your name and you've got your handle. Your handle is where you would change your @ did you hear that, John? That's where you would change it at. And so that's something I kind of keep forgetting about with the customization. And then you've also got your description and your tags in there, your channel tags. I mean, YouTube gives us a whole bunch of places. Did you find it? Okay, so we're just coloring and adding. So the red here is sort of like shadowing. So it works out pretty good here. The red is shadowing. I mean, the whole premise of YouTube has really not changed much at all. It's just that we have more people. So it's my opinion, having more people on YouTube, that we just have to do things more to get kind of what we want out of it. We have to do things a little bit more. So we have to, do more in order to get our channels going. And we have to do it consistently and every day. I know people don't like that, but I mean, I don't know what else to... I mean, that's what I was finding. That's why I ended up losing my channel, was because when the networks came on, the networks made it worse for us. The multi-channel networks and what they did from foreign countries actually made it worse for us, because then those of us who actually teach something such as a crafting skill of some sort, we just can't compete at all. Then it just completely puts us out of business. And that's capitalism at work right there. YouTube shows that and expresses it, that it just completely puts people who are doing something different out of business. And when they just give them money and say, okay, just go on the internet and talk about yourself. Oh, you checked and you found out half of your viewers are Indian. Yeah. Do you know why? Do you know why? Would you like me to tell you why? I believe, it's just my opinion, that someone hired them to be your viewers. So let me ask you this. Is your channel a channel you created or that someone else created for you? That's what I'm curious about, because sometimes there's people who have channels that are created for them and they go from one person to another person to another person. But there's people who will hire the Indian. Oh, it's all you. Okay, so the Indian scammers, they are incentivized to be on YouTube. And so, and that's because of Disney. So Disney, PewDiePie especially, hired people. They did it really, really cheap. And they hired people from foreign countries to be YouTube followers. And so I think they just started following other people possibly. And so I think they might do some of it as afterthoughts, or either that or the networks are doing it on other YouTube channels possibly, because I remember back in the day, like in 2006, 2007, I'd say 2007, there was always someone saying, I'm under attack. I'm under attack. There's a whole bunch of subscribers who are following me, and I didn't ask them to follow me. And so they'd been doing it for quite some time, hiring people from foreign countries. Facebook does it too. Facebook especially, because I know when I was on Facebook, I had more people from India. Well, 2 of your subs are just you, so that's what doesn't make sense. 2 of your subs are just you. Well, what do you mean by, and the rest of them are Indian? Yeah. Well, okay. Well, why are they just? I mean that. Well, YouTube is also right now. YouTube is redirecting a lot of us outside of the United States for some reason, and I don't know why. Our YouTube channels are in a carousel. And so the short videos, when you upload short videos, they get put into a carousel. What I'm noticing right now is even when we optimize our channels, shorts are not coming up in search. They will come up in search based on the title, but you'd have to have someone searching for you. It's just they're just not coming up next to each other anymore. And I don't know if short videos actually go back into the carousel over time, or if they're just completely done. I have no idea how that works. I don't know. But okay, this is how it works for me. Let me see if I get a piece of, let me write this out on a piece of paper and I'll tell you what happens. This is how it works for me. Okay, so I will go to the little shorts. Okay, I think it's shaped like this, something like this, the little shorts thing. Okay, so let's call this the shorts. Shorts, okay. So it's on the lower left side. For me, it's on the lower left side of my phone. I go to shorts. So I play a short. I might watch one or two shorts, and then I pause. And then up here is a live. Oh, it's a little thing, and it says LIVE on the upper right. So it takes me to the live stream, so I don't have to scroll through the whole carousel. So I don't know if I was just missing that for a year or so or what. But anyway, I pause the video, and then it takes me to the live feed. Okay, so I go to the live feed. And so I am in this carousel. I call it a carousel. I call it a carousel of shorts. Okay, so typically what happens is that I go into the carousel of shorts, and so I will see someone in a car, you know, sometimes that's what it is, someone in a car. I will see tarot card readers. Then I will see bars, bands. I will see bars, bands. I will see costume people. I'm not sure what to call them. I don't want to call them the wrong thing. COSTUM, costume people. Now this has changed a little bit because I was seeing dancing people. So, but the dancing has changed. It's not coming through as much right now. Maybe it's just not as popular. Furries and such. Furry. Oh, yes, dogs. Yes, dogs and cats. Yes, dogs and cats is very popular. And babies. Babies. At night, there is a man singing. A man singing. They make jokes. He looks kind of like Doc Compton, but it's not him. There's a man that sings all night long. A man singing. Okay. So these are usually the same people I go through. Well, then and so there's people all from around the whole world. And so then I start getting into foreign. So right here, let's call it foreign. FOREIGN. And so then, well, right before foreign, let's do this. Protesting. Protesting is in there just about every day. So we have protesting, and then we go to foreign, and then it is India, Mexico. Now, the problem with all of them, though, is that the people from foreign countries who are India and Mexico, Venezuela, South America, you don't know where they're from because the problem with what they do, or it could be a unique thing, and you have Canada. They switch nationalities. So they're in foreign countries, and one day they might say that they're in the United States, and another day they're in Canada, another day they're in Alaska, another day they're on a cruise ship, and so they're lying. They're just out and out, bold-faced lying about where they're at because they're entertainment from somewhere. And that's what they're doing. And they keep doing the same thing over and over again. So I'm stuck in this carousel. I'm stuck in this carousel. And then, but the foreign is heavy. I've not seen any. Foreign is very heavy, especially India. India is very heavy. Now India they have, and I truly believe that they are from India because they're showing the buildings that they're in. The buildings, a lot of them don't seem to be finished. It looks like they're living. Well, there was one woman one day. Oh, you should be getting Philippines and Taiwan. Taiwan, Indonesia, that area. I get China. I have a little bit of China. There's a one woman who's on the street in China making some food. Well, there are street vendors in China making food, these little food things. I've had Chinese candy come up, a lot of Chinese candy. I've had Australian things, quite a bit of Australia comes up. And so everything then on. So the carousel goes around the whole world. So it starts out in the United States. A lot of it is pretty much the same stuff. Tarot card. Las Vegas is in here too. Las Vegas, Arizona, Las Vegas, New York. We do get New York. I was in New York this morning, and that was the guy. It was like finally a guy who is, he and I are kind of talking the same thing. I didn't talk to him enough to know that I could agree or disagree with him about a lot of things, but he was talking about some things, just saying how things were, and he said apartments are like $5,000 a month. And he said that they can easily afford that up in New York City. And I'm like, really? I mean, what 18-year-old is making $5,000 a month that they can afford an apartment in New York City? But he said they can. I don't know how, but he said they can. He said that, but he was talking about the sports thing, that all these Bill Gates' son. No, I does Bill Gates have kids? I've never seen Bill Gates' son before ever. This was a guy who was, I'm gonna say he was maybe 50 at the youngest. I'm gonna say 50 years old at the youngest. Um, you know, he could be up towards 60 maybe. 60, 65 maybe. I just don't know. But I've never seen Bill Gates' son ever. I thought, yeah, I kind of forgot that Bill Gates had kids. And so this guy was just in New York City talking about, he said that kids were in the inner cities were being guided and steered towards sports because he says that's all they have up there in New York for them. He said there's nothing else for them to do. He said the rest of it is just hospitality work. And he said some Uber and Lyft. And I had actually asked the man a question. I said, which he might have missed it, but he was really good. He answered a lot of my questions. I think I was maybe one of the last people in there with him today. And I had asked him. I said, "Well, what do people do related to the skyscrapers and Uber deliveries?" And then all of a sudden I was cut off from him. John Gates. Yeah, Rory John. I've never heard of John Gates before. Um, I didn't know that Bill Gates named his son John. I had absolutely no idea. Um, but then I asked the man the question. I thought it was important. I said, "Now people doing Uber delivery and Uber Eats, how realistic is that going up 25 flights, delivering food 25 flights up the skyscrapers for Uber Eats and delivery and even Amazon? How realistic is that?" Now, I did talk to someone, or chat with, I should use the word chat, not talk. I mean, we were communicating. Communicating or chatting is a good terminology. And so a guy from Chicago, and he ended up getting upset at us for some reason because they were trying to promote Chicago. And um, he was saying that the business does not want to be in the skyscrapers. He said they just don't want to be in the skyscrapers. From drawing to a Q&A podcast. Yeah, you can call it a podcast. Yeah, well, I drew what I needed to draw. So I was sharing with you what happens in the shorts right here. You know, I was hoping it was a little bit educational because this is the same thing we have every night. The carousel is like every other. To me, this is my take on it. Sometimes I have hunting in here too, so it's like the carousel is like this. It's like every other day. It's like there's a right and a left, and so it's almost like the carousel is kind of divided. It's like, so there's left leaning people related to some things, and then there's right leaning people. So when they divide it up, that's kind of what it is. Um, a pond cast. A pond. What's a pond cast? And so it's kind of the same thing, but everybody knows that if you want your watch time, you've got to do the live streams to get your watch time. And so because there's so much content, and then the censorship has been taking place, that everybody is upset about that. It makes it harder to do what we need to do when things don't move freely. And then our business, what I started initially as a business back in 2006 just completely is all blown to smithereens. Um, now granted, I did delete my original YouTube channel for, I was in a big emotional state at the time. And I believe I've talked about this before. And so, when you're attached to something you're trying to get rid of, which that is an ex who was not nice to you, how else do you do that? There's no way of, and that's something that I'd said, it's like, well, gosh, when people break up on the internet, then they always have their ex stalking them. Oh, you must go soon? Yeah, I probably need to go soon too. I'm gonna have to go hit the sack. Yeah. Oh, you're over in the Midwest? Yeah, for me it's after midnight. And so John Gates, Rory, John Gates. Wait a minute. John Gates. John Wayne Gacy? John Wayne Gacy. Yeah, there is a connection with the names though too. So with the YouTube channels, everybody is not going to know this, but there is a connection that surfaces for some reason. Names. And your name does, you don't even have to mention your name, but there's some type of name connection that is surfaced from the underlying connections with people on YouTube, which is, it's like, okay, I can give them that certain names are popular, but when you search for something, yes, it does come up all the time, but are you supposed to just be bombarded with it all the time? Are you supposed to just be bombarded with it all the time? And why? Why are you bombarded with something that is, why? I don't know. But there is a names connection. Absolutely, there's a names connection with people. And so if you don't tell anybody else some of the things related to your personal name, which I don't advise you doing that right now. I don't advise you doing it at all. But there is name connections related to the internet. And so you can be connected to another content creator, and it could just be simply a relationship of a name of some sort. It could be something that you used, something that you searched for, but your personal name is attached somehow, and it's leaking. Personal names are leaking out of Google accounts. I don't know if anybody knows this, but they seem to be. And even ex-husbands. Ex-husband names are leaking out. There is a big leak, a huge leak out of Google, a huge, huge leak of personal information out of Google. I still stand by that. And I know there was a woman, my gosh, I was on Google Plus for the whole 7 years that they had that company, and there was a woman from San Francisco, and she had said, oh my gosh, Google just outed me to my family that she said she was a same gender person. And she said, Google just outed me to my family and my work. And she said that was something I was keeping private. And so Google is leaking a lot of things. Google is not as secure as what everybody thinks that it is. So, that's just that's just my observation. The same thing with, we have a choice of tracking we have real location identification tracking related to maps. And at one time, when I was in a house, I actually used that, and I really don't have a problem with it, but with the doxing, I do. I do have a problem with the doxing. And that's a big topic of discussion that has finally made it to Congress right now. And so right, I was made fun of the other day by this guy, this content creator, and he goes by Under Duress. And he's making fun of me related to some things I had written to him privately. And he's like, "Oh, I hope you're not one of those people who thinks that you're being gang stalked." And so I just lied to him and told him no. And so I just stopped. And he's like, "Oh, look, now she's not even saying anything." So he thinks I'm artificial intelligence, apparently. But he's a fucking asshole. So he's one of these preacher people who come. He said he just likes going on the internet to harass lefty liberals. But he goes by Under Duress, and I think he's from Tennessee maybe or something like that, and he just drives around in a truck all day long. He actually was trying to meet up with me. He wanted to come to the state where I was at and meet up with me. And I told him no, and he's like, "Why not?" And I'm like, "Because I'm not interested. I don't know you." And so it was just I don't know why he wanted to do that, so I did I what he's doing just makes no sense at all. And then he said something about that he was in a truck accident. So I don't know well, he does wear a uniform in his picture, but it's like with as many people as is from India and from Africa, why would I trust him that he is actually someone he says he is, and he's not using a voice changer of some sort to change his voice? Um, and yeah. I mean, if he doesn't really trust me, and he just wanted to knock on me and say, well, he gave me his email. Well, then he doesn't want to read anything that I wrote to him. He's like, "Well, why are you wasting your time writing to me?" He's the one who gave me his email. He says, "Oh, you can write to me." And he's like, "Well, you're writing novels. Why do I want to read all that?" But this was after I told him I didn't want to meet him, though. Otherwise, he was leading me to believe that he was reading my messages. But when I told him that I didn't want to meet him, so he was more or less just using YouTube for a dating pickup is all he's doing. And so, um, the midnight hit. What's the midnight hit? I don't know what that is. Oh, you're talking about Wolfman Jack? Wolfman Jack? The midnight special? Yeah, Wolfman Jack. Yeah, why do you want to keep bringing that up? I mean, that's done and over with, and that's old stuff, that's old news, and everyone tells me to move on and move on and move on and purge on ahead and forget about everything that happened in the past as though it didn't really happen. And that's what we've been getting on the internet, even though I know it still happened, and I'm still slightly pissed about, feeling tremendously about there being lopsided and one-sided justice. Some people call it one-sided love in the United States. And so I don't know even what to say about it, because nothing gets solved on the internet. I mean, that's a fact. We have no court system, it seems like. We have no justice. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do, because of the fact it's like, well, I've just been left with a shambles and a mess, and people seem to just on the internet just want to make fun of it. So why would I bother talking about things anymore to anyone when I don't get any responses? What's the point? There's no point. You know, there's no point. Absolutely no point whatsoever. I wasted a whole bunch of money and was taken advantage of. That's what it seems like. I wasted a whole bunch of money and was taken advantage of by someone I thought I could trust. Well, two someones. That was my ex-husband and then my divorce attorney. And so, and I mean, he's I'm sure he's forgotten about me. As someone said that, they said, yeah, divorce attorneys are nothing but someone he's pissed at an ex-wife and he wanted to take it out on someone, so he takes it out on his client. That's what they've been telling me on the internet. But I think a lot of them are from Mexico, though. They're illegals. They're Mexicans and Indians. So maybe that's what I'm hearing too. So I have to take it with a grain of salt, I guess. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know anything right now. I'm just left questioning things even more. I have more questions than answers. And I have more of a lack of trust for humans right now than I've ever had in my life ever before. Oh. Yeah, there's someone that I liked, and um, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what. I really don't. But yeah, I have to go too. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for being here with me, rusting in nuts. I mean, rusting in rust. I'm sorry for saying it the wrong way. I didn't mean to say it, even though I said that in being funny, but yeah, I need to go to bed.